Hello. I have just had to start again because some crazy freaking fluoro has decided to blow dry his lawn with a giant blower. So it was getting really annoying. I am starting again. So as discussed, I'll be doing a more of a pretty and pink look, focusing more on the depth of a lip with a bit more of a metallic-y kind of pinky eye. So I love pigments. Pigments are a really awesome way of getting a really intense kind of colour on the eye, and I also use them on the skin as well. I find sometimes they're a little bit more finer and not so bright. So I have a lot of pigments and have accumulated a lot over the years, and I find them really annoying to kind of store. So I like to decant them into small little pots that I get from MAC. They're little sample pots. When I was working for them, they had a bazillion of them, so we were told to take them home, and I did, and I've just sort of decanted them all into small pots. So if you see these in my videos, it's just the pigments. So the one I'm using today is called Pro Copper. I'd almost say it's like a rose gold rather than a copper, but it's stunning nonetheless. So I have gone ahead and done my hair today. I just quickly dried it off with a hairdryer and then just put a bit of bend in it with a straightener and a bit of hair oil, and that's it. To be honest, I'm not in the mood to do beautiful hair. And with the skin, I have done everything that I showed you in last night's epic video. So I've done, foundation, concealer, powder, bronzer, and given it a bit of a spray, and I've primed my eye. So I'll do now pretty much what we call the colour elements. So eyes, brows, blush, and lip. So let's get to it. Pigments can be quite messy to work with, so just make sure when you use them. I'm using a 239 paddle brush. That way you can really press it onto the lid rather than flicking it everywhere. So just get it and then tap off. You'll find a fair bit of excess will come off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to pat that really softly and lightly onto the lid. You can see it kind of picks up quite quickly. And I'm not going any higher than the lid. If you go into the crease area, I use the analogy of it's like me wearing a white lycra bodysuit. It's just showing off all the wrong things. So it's why I wear a lot of black. We want to slim down the areas that are too big, and we want to kind of highlight the areas that are too small. So this area is quite big for me, so I like to take that away. So I always use a matte through the crease, and I keep shimmers and anything metallic-y just on the lid. That pretty much is a standard thing that most people should do. So again, I'm just pressing them all over, tapping off any excess. This one's pretty iridescent, but if you wanted to get more bang for your buck out of the way that it kind of reflects, put it onto your brush and then spray it with a bit of that spray that I showed you, the Mario Bedescu, or the MAC Fix Plus spray. That'll give you a really kind of big kick. So that's just all over the lid, but you probably would notice that I haven't really super focused on that area or the inner corner. The reason why is I'm going to go in now with some of my favourite pigment ever, and that's by MAC, and it's called Naked. A really super flexible colour, and I always put it into the inner corner of my eye, except for yesterday because it was a lazy look. So I'm just going to pat that over that inner corner and then work it into that rose colour. Just like that. And then I'm going to go in with my 217 brush, and I'm going to pick up the colour Folie. Pretty much anyone who knows my work knows that I'm obsessed with that colour. And I'm just going to sort of press it into this outer corner, keeping on the lid still. And then what I'm going to do is, with any excess on the brush, I'm going to, again, like a windscreen wiper, sweep through. I don't want this to be a really heavy look, so I'm keeping it quite light. So just use any of the residual product on the brush. Maybe a little bit more on this side. And then with your eyes open, just make sure that it's balanced. We're going to do some really in-depth eye tutorials in terms of what sort of looks you should do with certain eye shapes. I've got a really round eye with a lot of space on the top and underneath, so I'm all about framing. So, but I understand that not everyone has my eyes, so we will be talking in the future about the best looks you can get for your eye shape. So now I'm going in with Teddy Eyeliner. This is a super easy kohl by MAC, and this is a little tip for me to you with eyeliner. Keep your chin up, looking into the mirror, and then I'm just slowly kind of lining the eye, keeping it quite close to the hairline, and I'm going to keep it pretty much on the outer edge of the eye. The reason why, keeping the chin up again, remember, chin up is always really important. I do this just on the outer edge because I don't want to make it really obvious, and if I go right across the eye, it kind of encloses it. I want to keep it a bit more warm and natural. So then I'm going to go in with my favourite little brush. It's the Mini Shader by MAC. It's the 228, and I'm going to just rub that now. I'm just smudging it, so it's not going to be a line anymore. It's purely just going to be creating a bit more depth with the eyeliner rather than a line. So I'm just pushing it out. Don't be perfect with it, just get in there, give it a rub. So you can see that's like that. And then what I'm going to do is with this same little brush, I'm going to go with the Folie, and I'm going to go underneath the eye. I'm like really willy-nilly just going to keep most of the colour on this outer edge of the eye. That'll create more of an almond shape, and then I'll just lightly run it in the inner corner. So underneath, really close to that hairline. Be specific with, I think it comes across as Pacific, but I say specific. I just say it so quickly that it merges in. So you just keep it really close to that hairline. I think sometimes I see clients and they're really like just throwing the brush around, but really kind of, you can be quick and rub it around, but just be really specific with where you're putting it. So you can see that. I'm just going to go in with that loose brush now and just really soften that off, and I'm going to go up a little bit higher with this just to kind of blow it out a little bit now that I've merged that eyeliner and blowing it up. Cool. Then I'm going to get that same brush. I can go in now with a shimmer, so it doesn't matter if it gets dirty because I will be cleaning it after this. But we want to never use a shimmer and then use a matte with the same brush, because you're essentially making the matte a shimmer with any residual colour. So I'm getting there with Naked on that brush. There's probably a heap on this, so I'm just going to go lightly. And then just under the eye. Brow. Cool. Really easy. It will take practice if you're not used to it. Totally understand. Just keep on practicing with it. But these looks are all at the moment designed to be really kind of super buildable and easy. So if you're more natural and you don't love heaps of product on the eye, don't use the eyeliner. Just use the iridescent colour instead. So I'm just going to quickly chuck on some mascara. Watching the video back last night, it was kind of funny watching me how I did my makeup. I'm so aggressive. I'm not normally like that with my clients, so don't be scared, I'm going to beat you up. So yeah, just chuck on some mascara. If you're feeling it's a bit clumpy, just get in there with a brush and then zigzag up. It'll just kind of push it out. And then brows, like I'm going to do is again super quick. Probably not talk about it because we did that in the video last night. Like I said, I will be doing a brow tutorial, but I'm just going to throw some colour in there. For my brows, they're quite thin, so I like to just kind of give it a little bit more width on the top. And like I said, not too much product at the front of the brow. But I like to focus that colour underneath. And focus on that arch. That arch is the most important part of your brow. Cool. Now onto blush. Same thing what we did yesterday. I'm just going to go in with LoveCloud by MAC. You can use any pinky blush. I'm going for more of a pretty look today, so I'm going to just use this mostly on my apples to give that kind of really flushed, kind of pretty look. I think for more of a pretty look, it's always good to go more on the apples, and more of a sexy look, go kind of sweep up. It's a really nice colour, this. And then with lips, actually we'll put a bit of highlighter on, why don't we? Just soft and gentle. Hit the apple of the cheek. And then down the bridge of the nose on the tip. Oh, Cupid's bow. I'm not even going to use lipsticks today. I'm going to use my favourite lip liner. It's a limited edition, but it's called Cranberry it's in the Sharon in the Osborne collection. It's Sharon Osborne's lip liner. I would say the closest one you could get is Soar by MAC, which is super popular at the moment. So I'm just literally going to get in there. Small arm. And I slightly like to round my lip just because it's quite straight. And get in there and around that, keep it off. Lip liner you're always meant to fill in. Girls that, well, I used to not do it before I learnt better. But you'll go out drinking or you'll do something throughout the day and then you'll just have this dirty ring around your lips. So just make sure when you use lip liners, just remember to fill the whole lip in, even if you're wearing lipstick on top. Cool. Super easy, pretty in pink. That's it. Thanks. See you next time.